You are listening to Dave Sweetmore, and it's an absolute honour now to say I'm joined by a man. He was in the Housemartins, he was in the beautiful South, and now with his brand new project, Sunbirds, he's in the middle of a tour coming to Manchester in a few weeks' time. Dave Hemmingway. Dave, how you doing?
I'm all right, Dave. How are you?
Really good. Thanks for joining us today. Let's start with the roots of the band. The beautiful South ended in 2007. How did your latest project, Sunbirds, come about?
Well, it was a long time after that, really. After the beautiful South, I did nothing for a while. Then I joined a band called the South, which basically was playing beautiful South songs, and I did that for a while. And I eventually got tired, really, of doing the old songs, great as they are, and they are great songs, of course. But I just thought, I want to try some new songs, and the rest of the band weren't really up for doing that. We did have one album out, which was original songs, and I thought we could easily have done another one, but they weren't interested in doing that. So I finished again, and I took some time out, and I think I was really waiting for the right songs to come along, and Phil, our guitarist, brought some songs along. We did some demos, and I thought, this is something I'd really like to do. So we got the band together and recorded the album, did it all ourselves, and I'm sort of proud of it, really, because it was very much a labour of love.
It's a great album, Cool to Be Kind. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but the band you're with now, your project now, Sunbirds, I saw it described as a band with American roots but stories of life in England. Is that a good way to describe the band?
Yeah, well, I think that was more about the music, the sound of the music sounding more like Americana, but obviously we can't talk about things American because we're not American. So it's a bit like, sort of English lyrics and English stories told in the songs, but a bit of a West Coast sound maybe on some of the songs. But we are evolving all the time, really, and the new album, which we're in the process of doing, will be a bit of a change again. So we're not really stuck to one particular genre or one particular sound. We're just we're still learning, really, as we go along.
You mentioned before, after all the amazing music you did with the Housemartins in the beautiful South, when Sunbirds came along, it was a different path. You wanted to do something new. Did you find that your influences had changed over the years? So when you came to writing and producing stuff for Sunbirds, you were listening to different music almost?
No, well, I'd always listened to different music, so that hadn't changed much. But obviously working with different people now and different producers and a different way of going about things in the studio, which is, I was opened my eyes a bit, really, because I'm getting involved a lot more in that side of things than I used to. I think about the band's Housemartins Beautiful South, the biggest legacy is how good the songs are, so it was very important to me if I was going to do a new band, that the songs had to measure up to that, because I think anything else would be a bit of a betrayal of the legacy. So it was important that the songs were good. So that was one of the main things that drew me to doing Sunbirds.
Over the decades, with the Housemartins, with the beautiful South, with Sunbirds, who are Dave Hemmingway's influences? Who are your heroes in the world of music?
Well, I think anybody of my age, sort of, as a kid, it was the Beatles, but then in the 70s, you got punk and the new wave, Paul Weller, Elvis Costello. Those sort of people were fantastic because the energy and the great songwriting as well, great political songwriters as well. So those people, I'm a big fan of Squeeze because of the melodies and the harmonies they did. So all those things. But to be honest, I listen to everything I can, and I don't like everything, but I try and listen to everything to see what's out there and what sort of things we can learn from.
Sunbird's album, Cool to Be Kind, was released during the lockdown in 2020. Was that a hard decision to release the album during lockdown?
Yeah, well, we'd done it and released it, and obviously the world came to a bit of a standstill, didn't it? And nothing was happening. Obviously, we couldn't go out and do any gigs. We're only just beginning now to start to get a tour together and a proper run of gigs, because it's all been little bits here and there which we've never really had a chance to consolidate on. So we're getting a tour together now. The rest of this year, we're going to be doing gigs as much as we can, and to get the songs out there from the album, and hopefully the new songs which are going towards the new album. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully a busy year for us. Lots of travelling, and the places we're playing are very small places, but still good because you get to meet people and it's good.
I was going to pick up on that. If you look at your website, sunbirds.co.uk, from February to the end of the year, you've got a really, really busy year of live dates ahead. You're with us in our part of the world on Saturday the 15th of April when you're at Lions Den in Manchester, and then the night after, Sunday the 16th of April, you're at Alexandra's Live in Chester. Two brilliant intimate venues that your music will sound really good in.
That is the sort of type of venue we are playing, and we love to play, because as long as you can get the sound up and sounding good, and obviously it's intimate, small, and people tend to give the songs a chance and have a listen, and see. We like that to get input from the audience, whether it's good or bad. We don't expect them to like everything, so or anything really. But it'd be good to hear what they think of the new songs, and they are all new songs, by the way. We're not playing any old songs, so that's a bit of a challenge in itself, because obviously people turn up and they say, "Are you going to play any of the old stuff?" But we made a conscious decision not to do that, because we want to move on as a new band and see where it leads us.
Really, really respect that. And both venues you're playing at are really, really good venues. You'll have a great time. My next question was going to be, what could people expect? Could people expect any old songs? You're saying the tour, the gigs you're doing are really, really Sunbirds gigs.
They are. And I understand, obviously, with the back catalogue of the bands I've been in, people want to hear songs they know, and I fully understand that. But it was a conscious decision that we made. We did think about it. We did think, shall we put 2 or 3 in there, because it would make us more popular, I suppose. People would come to the gigs more, because it is hard for people to turn up to a gig and not hear anything that they know, but hopefully they might get a listen of the album or get to listen to some of the songs, so they won't go into the gigs totally not knowing anything. But even if they do, I just want people to turn up, give us a listen and give us a chance, and see what they've got to say.
As a big fan of new music and supporting new music, I really, really respect and admire that decision. Your last album, the album that you brought out with Sunbirds, was Cool to Be Kind. It was released in 2020. Last year, you brought a single out. Can we expect an album? You've already mentioned there's new stuff on the horizon. Can we expect any new music from Sunbirds this year?
Definitely, yeah. We've got an album's worth of material. The problem is getting to record it, because it's all self-financed, and it's not easy to do that. But because we've not got a record company or anything, so we've got the songs. It's just a question of getting in the studio to do them. It's going to be a drip sort of process, really. Do a song at a time. I think we've got a couple in the can, and we've got 8 or 9 more to do, which we will do by the end of July, I'm hoping. So we should have an album out by October time, with a bit of luck. So definitely going to do that, and keep touring and try and enjoy ourselves. I think it's important to enjoy being in a band. I think I might have forgot that somewhere along the line. So I think it's, why not enjoy it?
Very much so. The music you've released now is available on all the usual platforms. And as I say, you've got, considering Sunbirds have been around for a few years with the pandemic and stuff, this is a big year for the band. You've got a really busy year. And as I mentioned, you're with us in this part of the world, Saturday the 15th of April, Lions Den in Manchester, and then Sunday the 16th of April, Alexandra's Live in Chester. For more information and tickets available for them gigs, visit the website sunbirds.co.uk. But Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure. Good luck with the tour. Can't wait to hear the new music, and have a brilliant year.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Cheers.